Two more goals for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to see him join Jamie Vardy at the top of the Premier League goal-scoring charts. Gary, how impressed have you been with him?
Hugely impressed. I've watched a lot of him, obviously, over the last 2.5 years, like we all have. And yet, like probably everybody else, never really put him up there when you mention about the Premier League great players, when you talk about the Premier League's world-class players. But if you look at the most goals in the last 2 seasons in the Premier League, this is from the start of last season. You know, he's at the very top of it, ahead of Aguero, Salah, Vardy, Mane, Sterling, Kane, who we don't hesitate for 1 second to describe as being great. However, we never really put Aubameyang in that category. And I'm not just talking about myself on this particular programme, I'm talking about probably most other people on most of the programmes that I watch. If you said, name your top 5 strikers in the Premier League, name the people who you think you could rely upon to score the most goals, you wouldn't mention Aubameyang. There's almost like a hesitation or a reluctance to accept him as what he is. And yesterday was watching him, and it probably hit me part way through the second half, but you know, he was absolutely outstanding. And you talk about Arsenal lacking characters and lacking leadership. I think this guy has everything you would want. There's a bit of Ian Wright in him. There's a bit of nastiness in him. I think in his interviews after a game, he shows personality and character. He works hard off the ball. He works hard on the ball. And if you look at his minutes per goal, and this is since he... 1 second. This is actually Premier League history, minutes per goal. Aguero at the very top. We know the world-class nature of Aguero. Harry Kane. Henry. He's 1 minute behind Thierry Henry. Now, Henry played over a longer period of time. He's ahead of Salah, Van Nistelrooy. Jesus is in there, who's got a great record at Manchester City, mainly coming off the bench. But Ruud Van Nistelrooy at Manchester United, if you said to me, it felt like he scored a goal every 10 seconds. Aubameyang's scoring a goal ahead in minutes per goal than Van Nistelrooy. It's unbelievable, this performance from this lad over 2.5 years. He's not mentioned as world-class. We don't mention him as a Premier League great. And I think we have to.
Has he shown he can adapt as well? In many respects, Arteta is what you'd call a Guardiola disciple. He'd expect his wide forward players to be working back. Is this the challenge for a player now who you describe as a kid, but he's actually over 30?
Yeah, no, that kid, I wasn't describing him as a kid because of his age. I was describing just this lad. And essentially, I've heard it particularly described of players